Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Christine here from Unique Sapphire Fibre Studio. I'm glad that you're all here. If you've been following along, you know I've been knitting a series of a top-down custom fit raglan sweater. And I've been knitting it in fingering weight yarn and sticky wool. Sticky wool is non-superwash wool. Non-superwash wool is warmer than superwash. Why am I doing this? Well, this is my second sweater that I've been doing for 2019, and I got to get it off my needles. So it's ready for fall and winter. Why? The first sweater is beautiful. First sweater is Pittsburgh colors. I live outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So it's black and gold with a little bit of gray and a little bit of off-white. So showing my sports team colors in a unique sweater. But I also hike a lot. And I also love the fall season. And I also do not stay on the trails. So I needed a sweater that was lightweight, hence the fingering weight. I also needed something that was warm. So if you've seen my Oompa Loompa videos of me dressed in multiple layers, because it's in non-superwash, it will be warmer. I can put a base layer underneath it. I also am only knitting it with a 1-inch positive ease. So that way here, when I do go off the beaten path on the trails, I don't get caught on tree branches and briars and what have you. Yes, I have a tunic style bottom that I'm running with, but with that 1-inch positive ease, it's not going to be bulky and out there. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that my thought and theory is correct. Yes, I'm going to start crunching some numbers for you. We're going to get started on that, but I also want you to know and think on this, that you can also create this in sport weight or DK weight if you get the gauge. Once you have your gauge, and gauge always matters, you can create it. Let's get started crunching those numbers, shall we? All right, everyone. So you know it's done in fingering weight. I did do a video where I was estimating how much yardage. So here's the estimate for small, medium, large, and extra large. 1,300, 1,500, 1,700, and 1,900 yards respectively in fingering weight. So fingering weight yarn, normally skeins go from 437 to 463, 464. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. And if you've also been following along, you know that I dyed it up. And right now I'm working alternating skeins because I dyed it and I didn't want any pooling in it. So that's another thing to think of. So next is gauge. Gauge matters again. 24 stitches by 32 rounds. So that gives me 4 inches. So my gauge per inch is 6 stitches per inch in a row and 8 stitches in the round height. I'm using a needle size US size 4 circulars. I will get to double pointed needles once I get to the sleeves. I've included a cast on here based on the gauge because I adjusted the custom fit raglan sweater pattern that I pulled off of Ravelry and adjusted how many stitches per sleeve because those sleeve stitches were just way too much for that. So again, casting on small, 120 stitches, also a medium 120 stitches, a large is 128, as well as an extra large is 128 stitches to cast on. Now you can do any kind of collar you want. I've done a video on that, on what kind of collar I did on this one. So to move you on a little bit further, I even did a raglan setup, and you have to place your markers. So after you get your collar done and you're ready to start your raglan setup, a small would have 18 stitches. You would place your marker, then you would knit 47, place your marker, and then repeat it times 2. So after you knitted your 47, you placed your marker, you would go back and knit 18, place the marker, and then you should have 47 stitches remaining to your first mark or your start marker if you work from the start, your beginning of your round. So that's pretty simple. Now, how do you do your raglan? Well, there's many ways to do a raglan. You can incorporate multiple different stitches for a raglan to do your increases. Mine was just a knit in the front and the back, knit 1, I slipped my marker, knit 1, knit in the front and the back. And if you know knitting stitches, knit in the front and back does show up pretty predominantly and makes a pattern going down the raglan. You can do a yarn over, you can make one, left and right. It is completely up to you. That's why it's a totally customizable sweater pattern. I'm just crunching the numbers for you. So, chest circumference. This looks a little convoluted. Again, I'm only doing a 1-inch positive ease. So my small is a 33-inch in circumference. The medium is 37 inches per circumference. Large is 43, and extra large is 47. Again, depending on your gauge, and if you get it correct, that is what your estimated, like I said, 1-inch positive ease. So I divided it down to stitches. So how do you know when to stop your raglan? Your small, you should have 290 stitches on. Your medium, you should have 326 stitches on your needles. A large, you should have 386 stitches on your needles. Your extra large should have 414 stitches on your needles. Now I put it on body stitches. It should be front and back, not including your sleeves, but those are the total stitches. Total stitches are these stitches that should be on your needles. These ones are front and back. So if you would take 174 and divide it by the gauge, either per inch or per every 4 inch, you will get your circumference. And that's how you figure that out. It's not that hard. So with mine, I was doing a medium, but then changed to a small because I can customize it. So when I took off my sleeve stitches and added on, I ended up having 198. So now when I divided my front and back to go for my tunic, I have 99 on the front, 99 on the back. And that's how I'm dividing them up. So there you have it. Those are the numbers. If you would like me to write it down in a pattern format, I'll probably get to it, but leave your comments below that you would like to know this, because it helps me understand if this is something that you like and you want. Like I said earlier, once you get your gauge, you can crunch the numbers and you can change yarn weights. Completely up to you. Completely up to you on how you do your raglans. Whether you add darts under a bust line. As for me, I'm flaring out now for my hips because I have hips, and also going to go knit it flat for the last few inches just so that I'm covering my assets. That's why I said it's completely customizable. It's easy, it's simple. If you have someone help you measure your body, it also helps, but this type of sweater you can always try on as you go and adjust if necessary. As I've stated before, everybody's body is different. We're all different. all different shapes, all different sizes. We might have a lump here and a lump there, something, but we're trying to think outside that normal box, because what happens if you enjoy sweater knitting and don't understand your own body and shape, and you want to knit something and you found this awesome pattern and it's knit flat? Once you do a top-down raglan and you know your body's measurements, you can adjust those flat pieces based on your body and what you're looking forward to. Instead of just having a flat piece that flares out and then goes in for shoulder shaping and stuff like that. If you want something that's form flattering, this is a great start. This gives you the knowledge and the courage to learn how to do it, and you can adjust any pattern that way. And it's only, you know, either knit two together underneath your armhole stitches, so you could actually adjust a lot. But this is easy, no seams, no worries. You can adjust it to yarn weight as well. As soon as I get this thing done, most likely it will be on my website as a pattern, and got to get it finished first. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some information and insight of where I came from, how my gauge got my numbers, so I can catch the circumference of the chest size that I wanted in a 1-inch positive ease based on a woman's body. Yes, you can adjust it for a man, but I knitted my husband a sweater last year. This year, 2019 is me. It's my sweater year. All right, please like and subscribe as always. It does help and make a difference. And hit the bell to be notified for when I post a new video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.